Hello, I'm Annemie, and today we're going to be looking inside Niche, or I think it might be pronounced Niche. Anyway, it's a genetic survival game, as you can see from the title, and the Steam listings, where it's available for about £13 or whatever your regional equivalent is, says that it's a fresh blend of turn-based strategy and simulation combined with rogue-like elements. Shape your own species of cat, fox, bear, or dog-like animals based on real genetics. Keep your animals alive against all odds, such as hungry predators, climate change, and spreading sickness. If your species goes extinct, the game is lost and your evolution needs to start anew. And what it claims is to be using real genetics for the breeding system, 100 genes to shape your species, procedurally generated worlds, multiple biomes, and game mechanics inspired by population genetics. They also say that this game was inspired by games like Don't Starve, the Creatures series, and Warrior Cats, along with Spore, that game which was rather famously Peter Molyneux. So, how does it play? Well, let's have a look. I've got a couple of games running at the moment, so let's just start a new one. Story or sandbox. So you can see there are lots of different biomes going on here. But let's just start story mode. Why not? Let's experience the story of Adam. Mild spoilers for the game, I guess? The loading screen is slightly terrifyingly reminiscent of a blue screen of death, it must be said. Especially when you start getting the spinny wheel. Aww. Look at the cute little tigers. Nothing bad could possibly happen to them. That bird is clearly coming just to give them a hug. No! Bet that hurt. Okay. So stranded on an island far away from home. That I can do. Let's move Adam about. Let's end the day. I've seen all these tutorial messages before, so nothing too crucial is going on, so let's collect some fruit. You see that in the bottom right corner is your food indicator. It is one of your most important resources, as you would imagine, from being an animal whose only job is to survive. Let's just keep collecting some fruit. And Adam is now an adult. So throughout the stages of their life, they get more actions to spend. When they're a baby, they can't do anything. When they're a child, they get a single action. Teenager gets a couple, and these are also marked by these little gems on their fronts. And it is constantly adorable how much the animal just looks at the cursor. So let's collect some fruit. Fruit. Got a good amount of fruit going on here. Might spend one more day doing it, then I'm going to head off. Let's leave this island. So these flower patches are essentially animal teleporters. So whatever animals from your tribe you have down here, they will teleport with you whenever you leave the island. They will come with you. Anything that's not there will not come with you. So we are now alone on this new island, except we're not alone. It says we have different modes of perception. What we see at the moment, cleared in this fog ball, that's our vision. Can't see up here, so if there's anything around here, we don't know about it. However, we can start sniffing things, except that this animal is apparently really bad at smelling. You see the statistics down here. They represent how good you are at various different things. So, pretty resistant to cold. Kind of stealthy. Yeah, we've got a smell range of 1. However, we have a hearing range slightly larger. So, it's over here. Ooh, this is a different creature. This is Eve. I wonder where they got the inspiration for Adam and Eve from. So let's offer Eve 5 fruit. And now we have her. Let's just clear this grass so we can get a good look. Oh, she's kind of cute. So the different animals have different genes, as you might well imagine. So let's have Eve mate with Adam. She is pregnant, and I think this is a natural found nest, so I might just have her be there so that she can give birth. And how this works is that this isn't, I don't think it's fully explained, but your animals have got a load of phenotypes. Some of them are dominant, some of them are more recessive. So hind legs here is dominant over webbed hind legs. Some of them have got co-dominant or something like that, but each parent has a number of these genes, and my guess is that it's a 50-50 chance as to which gets passed on. There is also the ability to put in mutations. I'm not entirely sure how this works. It's not been fully explained yet, so let's see if we can find mutations that neither have. That's yellow and red. That's red, brown, and moss. So let's... This might actually be too late, seeing as she's already pregnant. Let's go for beige fur. But we'll create some more babies after this. And... what would be a nice obvious thing to have? We don't actually have any horns yet. Let's go for a mask. I don't actually know what a mask does yet, so... that's the end of the day. That's interesting. I think that's actually done something. Yes, so we have a beige child that has passed on the mutation, which neither the parents themselves had. We don't know where the mask would be were it around. Ooh, spiky body. That explains what that is. I think the parents have spiky body. Where was it? There. Medium body, spiky body, yeah. An active spiky body there, and I guess spiky is dominant over big. So we now have a spiky child. We can also start hunting these animals that are out and about. These moles are a bit of a pain. If they see you, they will just tunnel underground and they will stay there. And I've not found a way to actually be able to dig them out. There might be some genes which let you dig creatures out, but as I said, I've not found them. Berries tend to be your most reliable source of food. Okay, so let's move on a little bit, I guess. So I might aim to get off this island and onto a slightly bigger island. So one of my first complaints, I guess, would be with the smelling and hit ring perceptions. Those are obviously very useful, and it's nice that you highlight the things, the important objects around. But I also feel like this view is just really quite dull, and I don't know what could be done to prevent it, because the art here is really quite cute and lovely, and you can't... Obviously, if you're not seeing things, you don't see colour. But it reminds me very much of whatever your protagonist vision de jour is, whether it be eagle vision or detective vision or hitman vision. And it just makes everything look boring. It's a shame. Okay, let's see if I can get off this island. Lair is going to take a bit of a while to actually be able to get there, so I guess that Adam will just keep harvesting berries, crack open nuts, get some more food, and head over in that direction. So I just saw some crackling electricity. Was that my brain going mad? Possibly. Oh well, let's see how this goes. It does tend to shower you in notifications. Whenever it rains, it will give you a notification that it rains. You can't turn these off. So you are just going to be left with a slew of notifications up your right side like you're playing Civ. And all the city-states are wanting to give you quests. Which is slightly irritating. These berries, and cut, and then we'll leave the island with all of the people that are coming with us. So as you see, you find islands of bigger or smaller size, and you just kind of keep doing this. This is the first of what I'd call the sort of proper game islands. All of the previous ones were also procedurally generated. But one of the common features of a lot of the islands that I've found is the massive amount of grass. Now, grass impedes your movement. You can't move as fast through grass, I believe. Or maybe it's just your vision gets impeded through it or whatever. But one of the biggest problems for me in a game which is focused a lot on how cute everything is, how it's based off a love of animals and seeing things change, is that when you start going into the grass, it's a lot harder to see your animals. And when you're on big islands, so there are islands maybe like 3 or 4 times the size of these, which are pretty much just full of these grassy areas. They've got very little that's not grass. It leads to you losing any sort of attachment that you might have with your creatures. The other big problem is that I've only seen a couple of... That's not necessarily a big problem. I've only seen a couple of large qualitative changes, so this spiky body was one of them, and that's really quite cool. I think it's actually a penalty for a lot of things, so interacting with it will tend to harm others. So mating will be interesting. Oh, I think you can actually possibly trace... Yeah, you can trace how the genes are going through your family tree. That's cool. But there are only a few sort of large qualitative changes I've seen. You've got your fur colour. You've got this spiky body thing, which is new, and there were horns, which also were quite cool when I first saw them, but most of them, still like with various paw types, you can get claws, you can get deformed paws which don't really do anything. You don't really notice them that much, you have to look quite closely, and if they're in thick grass you can barely see that at all. The snout has a fairly big effect. But I just wish that maybe the grass were shorter. So maybe have there be sort of a low level of grass which your animal crests over visually, even if they don't do it mechanically. Just to still let you see how cute your creatures are. Because I want to see how cute my creatures are. And I'm sorry. I'm actually going to quit out of this game and show you my main game, which I've played for a couple of hours, as you can see here. And then I want to talk about one of the other problems which this game appears to have, at least for me. Some of you might not view these as problems, some of you might be able to look past them and just be happy with the sim-like progression of your creatures. But the issue with that for me, is that they don't have personalities. Your creatures aren't going off and randomly playing the guitar or chatting up the milkman or so on, like they might do in The Sims. They are completely under your control. They're not going to do anything without your say-so, so that limits the attachment that you have to them, especially when... So, I guess the comparison here would be to something like XCOM, where you still build up an attachment to your characters, but that is almost through the random number generator of success and fail. You don't feel that so much here. So there is a chance of you successfully attacking things like this toxic berry bush, which I'm not going to attack or eat from because I think I might get poisoned. Yeah, this actually gives you a good example of how the islands are just covered in obstructive terrain. Here is a thorny area, which would be even worse than the grassy areas. I'm going to stay away from that. Yeah, you don't build up a personality for them. And I think that's a shame. The other mechanical thing which I would quite like to see change is that sometimes it's quite hard to see. So firstly, where your creature is, I think that it's there. But as you can see, almost completely can't see the creature because of the grass. If I go higher up, I can just about see them. Maybe if they were to do some sort of animation when selected, so maybe jumping about and being, hey, I'm ready to do things, yes, let's go and hunt or run or so on, that would be at least something a bit clearer to show you where the creature is, in addition to having the grass be slightly shorter. So that is pretty much it. You can get different biomes, as I said. I think you can find some sort of prehistoric genes in the sort of icy areas. But it's just a game about going on, about continuing. So if this seems like the sort of thing that would appeal to you, the game is on Steam. It's currently on sale, but it's only 10% off, so even when it's not on sale, it still fairly gives about the £13 mark. If you like this video, please give it a like and a subscribe, and that will allow me to create more videos, hopefully give you further enjoyment. I have been Annemie. Thank you very much for watching.